welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. Our regulars are Paul Hipkiss.
Evening all.
Mark Adams.
Hello everybody, good evening.
Alan Watton.
Good evening.
Craig Courtney.
Evening all.
In the studio with me this evening, I've got Oliver.
Evening.
Our special guest, Mick Harford. Woo, woo, woo. How are ya?
Thanks for having me, boys. Look forward to this evening, yeah.
Mick, straight in, what are you doing now?
Me, I'm at that club you beat last week, 3-0. The club you beat early in the season, 5-0.
Yep, both times.
So I'm assistant manager, come head of recruitment at Luton at the moment. I went back in about 6.5 years ago when Nathan came back. So I've been there quite a while this time. But I've flitted in and out of jobs. But I've been at Luton now for nearly 7 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's your team, isn't it, Luton, really?
Well, Sunderland are my team.
Yeah. Are they? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I'm from Sunderland. I'm a Sunderland fan, always will be. That's where I was born and bred, and I followed Sunderland all the way. Still do, and having a few bad times, so I'm sticking by them. But Luton's really, really close to my heart. I've got to be honest with you. Really close.
Yeah.
And was you ever linked with a coaching role at Blues throughout you since you've sort of finished playing as well, Mick? Or?
No, not really.
No?
I've never been offered. I mean, when I speak to TC, who's my best friend, and the lads who played for Birmingham, we actually said it the other night. We'd have loved the opportunity to go back and play the game there or coach there, whatever, and gone back there, but we never really got the opportunity.
Because looking at
the opportunity, Paul,
yeah, looking at yourself and obviously TC as well, you know, goalkeeper coach at Manchester United for a long time. I would have thought a phenomenal coaching team, wouldn't it, as well?
Yeah, well, Tony had an illustrious career at Man United with Fergie and those great teams, and I was fortunate enough to get a job when I retired. I played till I was nearly 39, and I got an injury. And Joe Kinney offered me a coaching role at Wimbledon doing the under-23s, and I've stayed in football ever since.
Brilliant.
And do you enjoy it as much as ever, Mick?
Still passionate about it, absolutely. I love match day more than anything. Nowadays, you know, when you're a bit younger, you're really excited about the coaching and that side of it, and getting out and getting the lads organised and having good training sessions, which are still going every day and watch them. And but it's more the match day experience for me. I really enjoy that and I prefer that.
Yeah,
you haven't done too bad
from last week.
We've saved our best performances, haven't we, of the season for you? And you probably saved worse for us.
Oh, it's incredible.
20% of our goals this season have been against Luton.
Yeah, so I said, look, take it easy today, boys. It's an extra of mine. But no, it's a real coincidence because I mean I wasn't at the 5-0 result, but I was there obviously the other day when we got beat 3-0. First half, there was nothing in the game, and could have gone either way that game, and that's the championship. You know, it's so up and down. Results are crazy, and
we upped our game massively after we scored, didn't we? It just grew us in confidence. Scored the goal after we got the first goal.
Yeah, and the second goal just after half time, 30 seconds after half time, and took a slight deflection and went through our back four. And to be fair to Taylor, he's finished it off well. And then you go chasing the game a little bit, and you leave yourself a little bit wide open, and after that, you had total control of the game. And in all fairness, you deserve to beat us.
Yeah,
very honest of you.
Yeah, definitely. But
you came back on Saturday though.
Yeah, I bet you're glad about that one. Yeah, we played well.
Well, I didn't mind too much. No,
they were singing shit on the Villa as well.
Yeah,
they were singing shit on the Villa. I thought I need a blues back.
We don't say that word, Villa. You say the other word, but we don't say that word. Should we get straight into the game on Saturday? I know it's not going to be good for Mick, but Paul, your views on this game?
I thought we played well. We got the lead, and I thought, here we go. Come on now, you know, let's get the second goal and let's pull away. And it was just so unfortunate the equaliser they got. And I mean, I haven't seen it enough times to go mad about it, but it looked offside to me. I don't know if anyone can correct me, but again, it's another error from the officials if he was. And, you know, it didn't look like he I wasn't sure whether or not he'd actually touched the ball, but even if he hadn't, he's interfering with play there, isn't he? Getting in Everidge's highlight.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mystery to me, that was. I thought, has somebody seen something that I haven't seen?
That's what I thought, to be honest.
You know, I thought, I'm going to shut up here because I won't make myself a fool.
Yeah.
To me...
Yeah. Offside, yeah. Blatant, half a mile offside, but it was great to see Jordan James get his first goal. Fantastic, great goal. And then, you know, even going 2-1 down, I like the fact our heads didn't drop and we kept going and going and going. And in the end, we're fully worth the equaliser, and we could have even gone on to win it in the end, couldn't we? But, you know, them three, Hernandez, Baguna probably didn't have his best game on Saturday, but even so, you know, those three and Gary Gardner. I mean, how much has Gary Gardner up to his game since he got the armband?
Yeah.
A new lease of life, hasn't he?
And Ryan Woods as well. I think,
Ryan Woods, Gary Gardner, yeah. I'm hoping when Deeney comes back as well, he'll be the same, you know, with all these good players around him now and better players.
Yeah.
We'll start to see a different Troy Deeney as well when he's back.
Will he get in?
Yeah, it's going to be hard seeing how he fits in, really.
Yeah. But coming back to the week's events, obviously, the news that Ian Dutton's been promoted to MD, I think is great news for us.
Definitely.
You know, I've known Ian quite a few years, and I think he'll do a great job in that position. And I just hope he's given what he needs to do, what he needs to do. You know, that's the only, not concern, that's the only question I'd have is hopefully he's got enough resources, you know, to do it. But now we've certainly got, you know, Craig Gardner doing well at what he's doing. I think Lee Bowyer's a good manager. I think Ian Dutton will be excellent in that role. So now we've got people in positions in the club that are actually good, you know. But
yeah. I mean, go on, Mick. Go on, Mark.
Sorry, I was just going to chip in about the game on Saturday. Despite the freezing cold, so it's -3.
Yeah,
that's usually our goal difference, not the weather. But no, it was great. I mean, Taylor. I mean, he's just added a different dimension. We said it last week. Taylor's been superb. Gardner was superb. Maxine Collins. They all were. I mean, they all put a shift in, and it was really. I know we didn't win, but it was thoroughly enjoyable. It was a really enjoyable game.
Going back a few months, Mark, we might have lost that game, mightn't we? You know.
Exactly. And then there's night again. Bo's name was sung out loud from about 75 minutes. His name was just ringing round. So we're all behind him.
Oh,
you know. I mean, again, all this nonsense online of Bo's not the man. He's not used to the championship. It's all nonsense. Just get behind him. A bit of faith in him.
We're
16 points clear of relegation now, and that's huge progress from last season.
Absolutely.
You know, the only wish I would have is, you know, most of our best players are not our own, are they, at the moment? We've got a lot of loans in there, but I'd like to at least get Hernandez in and Taylor in the summer. If we can sign him permanently, that'd be great. Obviously, it depends on if Norwich get relegated, they might want him back. Who knows? I'm not sure if his contract's up, but I'd love him to sign for us because for me, he's been the best one out of the lot of them, in my opinion. I think he's just brilliant. He's with his pace and, you know, his directiveness and the way he gets past players and the way he finishes as well, these goals.
That's it.
Really good.
According to the statistics on the BBC website, we only had 29% of the game. Now, these stats drive me mad, as you know, but can somebody who watched the game live, I only listened to it on the radio, tell me that was a true reflection of what we did in the game? Because I can't believe it.
No way, Alan. I don't think it was at all. I think we got, I'd say 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't know where they got that stat from.
Oh no, yeah. I actually put that stat up and thought, have I got the right game?
Yeah. We're more than matched, and we have, you know, plenty of possession, plenty of not clear cut chances, but, you know, half chances and so on. I mean, Etheridge was a passenger for most of the first half.
Yeah,
we looked really comfortable.
No,
but we've got to give a shout out as well to the fans. What amazing support!
As always.
That video that's circulating of keep right on. That's blues of old. That's proper old school fans.
It was like the old Blues were back. It really was. It was a real good, almost say like a feel good factor. You know, it's fantastic.
You just hope we get everyone fit and available, and we could have a good end to the season. You know, we could go quite a few games unbeaten and go on a nice run and string a few wins together. Get Chong back in there, get Deeney back in there. You know, we got Roberts and Mengi to come back in as well. it's not a bad side, when everyone's fit. It's actually difficult to pick the strongest 11 now when everyone's fully fit, I think.
It is. It is. It's still a concern, really, that, they're not our players, half of them.
That's what I'm saying.
It's, but if we can get another season out of them, we can maybe build on that.
Yeah, we might get Mengi or Chong back on loan again next season, maybe. Their contracts on. I think Mengi's got the potential to go, to play for Man United as a regular, to be honest.
Yeah. Is he playing tonight? Who's playing?
Chong's in the under-23s.
Oh, is it?
Nice, yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
And that Wisdom as well, the one that we're looking at. He's starting as well. Yeah, they're both starting.
Right.
Oh, good stuff.
They're 2-0 down at the minute, but they are both
right.
What was your reaction when you saw the team? I only filled my pants.
I mean, we was in the, me and my friend Jane, we were in the pub, and everyone's like, oh God, there's no recognised centre halves and all the rest of it. We did fear the worst.
Only 2 defenders, let alone centre halves. Only 2 defenders.
It was just the effort they put in. It was just fantastic. You wouldn't have thought it was a makeshift back four. You would have thought they were playing together for weeks.
Yeah.
A real good effort.
The difference is the midfield. It's battling back. They have become part of the defence, and it takes the pressure off those players, and that's the one thing that stood out for me in the past couple of games. Yeah, we haven't had defenders to put out there, but God, our teams look stronger than ever. But also, there's that saying, isn't there? Your best defence is your attacking play. And when we're attacking, they can't come at us, and that's another thing that's just helping us hugely.
A couple of early questions coming in for Mick. So one from Dean Madams. Can you ask Mick about his transfer to Blues? Seem to remember it was a strange transfer with him having to go back to his parent club as he was out on loan.
Yeah, just to go back on the Stoke Birmingham game, it's really interesting listening to you there because we play Stoke on Wednesday.
Okay, bit of scouting.
This morning, we, manager, Nathan, myself, and all the coaching staff sat and watched the Stoke Birmingham game. We decided that Birmingham were the better team. Just get your name, Alan, who shit his pants. Because of the stats, they did have more possession, but it was all in their own half. They were playing around the back. Birmingham dropped off a little bit and had what you call a low press, and they just let them have the ball, and they got them around about the halfway line, and they put a bit of a press on them, and then went after them and took the ball off them majority of the times, and really deserved to win the game. Mike Taylor did play very well. Hernandez is a massive threat. He went really attacking. The young kid coming and did very, very well. And he played with a diamond shape in the first half. And when they went ahead 2-1, he got them back to a 4-4-2. So, he's utilising the team very well at the moment with what he's got. So I always believe Bowie was a great fit for Birmingham going back there. Stabilise the club and hope we can kick on. But it's really strange that you're talking about the game, and we were watching it this morning.
Yeah. Did you think the first goal was offside for theirs as well, Mick? Stoke's first. Do you think Stoke's first goal was offside?
I'm not too sure. He touched it, mate. Tyrese Campbell.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. We only watched it once, but I'm not sure he touched it. Whether he's touched it or not, he's still interfering the goalkeeper. He is offside. The second goal is a typical Campbell goal. He's always going to come on that left foot off the right side on his left foot, curl them into the far post. That's why when we play Stoke, we normally play 3 at the back. So when he comes inside, there's a centre half there waiting for him.
Yeah.
We like to do at times and that, and we'll probably do that on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So now it was really interesting listening to all your comments, and all valid comments. You were very attacking, and arguably what we saw this morning on the tape, you're the best team and they deserve to win.
Yeah. And coming back to
the question is, it's a strange little question. The question you asked about Bristol City was, when I signed for Bristol City, they were in financial trouble, and it's 40 years this week.
It is, yeah.
Gate 8.
The Ashton Gate 8, yeah. I read about that the other day, yeah. 8
players ripped their contracts up. The likes of Jill Merrick, Trevor Tainton, Chris Garland, to name but a few. There's eight senior players who ripped the contracts and stopped the club going into liquidation. So when I signed for Blues, Bristol City still owed Newcastle £100,000 of the transfer fee, which I think was about 180 grand. So I had to, on that same day, I had to sign from Bristol City to Newcastle, then from Newcastle to Birmingham.
Right.
Okay.
I actually played for 3 clubs in one day.
That must be
Unofficially.
So it was a bit of a convoluted transfer.
Yeah.
Because of Bristol City still owing Newcastle the money, and then I'm not sure whether in administration, but I know they're in a bit of shit and all that, you know, and financial trouble, and that's why I left.
Yeah, that must be.
Right.
I can't imagine that ever happening again, or has happened since, has it?
Well,
I don't think so.
Those 8 guys are given 10-year contracts.
Yeah.
What happened was one of their best young players before I got there got taken away by, I think it was an Arsenal or Tottenham, and the manager wasn't very happy and he didn't want to lose any more players. They give them all your old 10-year contracts, and the club got themselves into financial trouble, and they couldn't, and they would have gone into liquidation if the boys hadn't ripped the contracts up.
Yes, in fact, for those who don't know about the Bristol City 8, it's worth a Google. It's an interesting story.
They were great lads, absolutely great lads, very experienced pros, and they taught me a lot whilst I was down there. I was only there 10 months before I signed for Blues, so it was amazing. It was an amazing club. Good lads.
Yeah, and the next comment from Calvin Hembrough. Mick, my late Uncle Steve adored you as a player. How much does it mean to you to be loved by a fan base?
Great question, that, yeah.
Well, it does help. It absolutely helps a lot. You know, you walk on the pitch there with lots of confidence. Yeah, you know, if your fans like you, you're doing well. So you're walking on the pitch with confidence. You're going out there. You got the support of the supporters, and it's massive. Really, it's really helpful. I've got the same here at Luton. The fans have been, through the problems I've had lately, the fans have been unbelievable, and they gave me amazing support. I mean, I'm ever thankful for the Blues fans, the way they treated me, and still coming on here now. When you
yeah, you're very well loved.
Absolutely loved, yeah.
It's an honour, all the football players that's been through Birmingham City Football Club, and I appreciate you having me on. But it's massive. It's massive to players having the fans behind you, the confidence it gives you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Violet Stone's asking, what does Mick think of VAR, and do you think it's needed in the Championship?
I think on the big decisions, maybe on obviously the big, they've got the goal line technology in the Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a real tricky subject, but I worked for the Premier League when I was out of work about 8 years ago, and I was a delegate for the Premier League, and what I did was, believe it or not, I used to assess the referees. And it was a real interesting job, and the referees, you'd go in there and say Chelsea played Liverpool, you'd turn up at Chelsea 3-4 hours before the game, sit with the referees, have a coffee, get to know them. They tell you all the structure, how they're going to work, how they're going to manage the game. They'd have a tactical analysis about way Chelsea play and Liverpool play. Really, really technical stuff and all that, now. Something which I never knew they actually spoke about, and when some of it went over my head a little bit in terms of how they actually manage the game as referees and linesmen. And whilst I was doing that job, 99% of their decisions were right. They didn't get any wrong and all that, and I take my hat off to them. I know they make mistakes. I know we've got our favourite referees and our referees we don't like, but some of the refereeing was excellent. Some poor decisions on certain days. But I think VAR now is part of football with the money that's involved in it. They've got to get the decisions right somehow. They use it in tennis, they use it in golf to a degree, where they look for lies and stuff and all that, And it is used in some sports. I know it slows the game down, but for me, if you had to choose one one thing for VAR, I think it definitely should be used in goal line technology, 100%.
Yeah.
I think so.
Even when they use the VAR, they don't get it right. Most of them don't get it right between them.
Especially if you're down Aston and they switch it off.
Even on the electric bill, isn't he?
Yeah, what you say there is right, because if they would have referred to VAR then to get involved, once they weren't sure whether it, crossed the line or not, then they should have basically helped them out, shouldn't they?
Mm.
A couple of questions. Violet says, Mick, you're an absolute legend. Jason says, Mick, what's your advice to the younger generation of players?
That's a real good question. When I was a young player at Lincoln City, I remember my first training, one or two first training sessions. I remember stood next to a boy called Dennis Booth. I don't know if you remember Dennis Booth. He played for Hull and Lincoln, and he was a real good player. He was one of Graham Taylor's proteges, real knowledge of the game. And I was playing the midfield then, and he said to me, Mick, what are you running around all over the place for? He said, just fucking stand still. And I said, why don't you piss off and all that, And
I haven't got my button there.
And whenever I see Dennis now, I say, Dennis, I'm really sorry about that, about what I said to you. I take it all back. You give me the best bit of advice anyone's ever given me. So my advice to young players is listen to the senior players. Listen to the people who've been there, seen it and done it, and heed their advice, and make sure you look after yourself.
Yeah. Do you give that advice to your players at Luton, Mick?
Try to show some of them the dark arts and all that, as you know, they're still needed in football somehow.
Yeah.
So now we try and we like to think we've got to have a reputation of buying players and then turn them into better players and selling them or making them better and improving them, and that's our aim when we sign the players, to improve them. Which is
yeah. Mick, there's a couple of comments coming in. One of them, just wondering if you should remember, but comment around a certain Sam Allardyce giving you a whopping great smack into the face and splitting your lip. A couple of comments on that, and one person in particular asking, did you want to go and get him afterwards?
Well, I mean, I still carry the scars for that challenge. It was a really horrific day. That was. I'll never forget it. It was on Bonfire Night, believe it or not, 5th of November.
Oh, right.
What year? But Kevin Broadhurst played a ball around the corner, and I've turned to run after it. And the next thing I knew, I've woke up on the pitch. I woke up, and I spat something out my mouth. And I was lying there. I thought I spat my tongue out, and I blacked out. And I saw Trevor Peake. That's the first one I saw, and I blacked out again. And the next thing I knew, I was going down the tunnel. Because in those days, you used to go down the halfway line and down the back of the stand to the dressing rooms. So next thing, and I woke up, then I blacked out again. And next thing I know, I'm in the ambulance with the alarm bells going to hospital. Then I blacked out again. And bizarrely enough, the next thing I know, I'm lying in the hospital in the bed, and I've still got my kit on, still got my blues kit on, still got my boots on. There's a load of blood down the front of me. I've been no pain whatsoever, feel okay, not a headache, anything. And I said to the nurse, I said, what's going on here? She said, you've got a bit of a problem. I said, what is it? She said, oh, well. And as I start to speak, my lip was messed up and all that, and she said, oh, we're going to operate you on at 7 o'clock. I said, okay, is it that bad? She went, yeah, do you want to have a look? I said, no, I don't want to have a look. And it had gone clean through. Sam had whacked me, and my lip went clean through and broke my nose, and my teeth dropped down a little bit. All my gums were shattered and everything, and the first person to come in with my clothes was Howard Gale. He come walking in with my clothes before I had my operation. So he got away from the ground pretty quickly. Then a lady come in to visit the person on the next bed, and she looked at me and fainted. And I said, ain't that bad. So Sam did get me. He caught me a beauty. And about 4 or 5 years later, we were playing Huddersfield in the Cup. I was playing for Luton, Sam was playing for Huddersfield. And I vowed always to try and get him back. And I spoke to Brian Steen. I said, Steen, you just leave this one to me. And I threw elbows and arms and elbows and tried to clap from here and there. And I did catch him once. It was just a trickle of blood come down the forehead. And all he was saying to me, he said, I know why you're coming after me. I know why you're coming after me. But since I've spoke to Sam and all that in the past, and I've met him, I spoke to him at dinners and LMA meetings and stuff and all that, and that's the way it was in those days. You went to war a little bit, and I wouldn't say we're friends, but I
believe you never even got a yellow card as well. Is the comments that are coming through?
Wow.
No yellow card.
My life.
For that.
Are you sure the woman who fainted when she saw you in the bed wasn't just starstruck?
I didn't recognise my lip all over the place.
So if that's the case, do you think that your reputation as somebody who went in hard is just?
Well, I wouldn't say. Listen, I don't class myself. People say to me, "Oh, Mick, you're the hardest player." This, I don't class myself as that. I class myself as quite brave. I'd put my head and challenge, a bit like Robert Hopkins, really. Brave. He'll go anywhere. He'll go into any tackle, go into any challenge. And I wasn't frightened to do that, And I got cuts and bruises. But I give a few out, And so that was how I would class myself as a brave footballer. Not hard. I wasn't hard. I wasn't hard.
And what was your favourite away ground to play at, Mick? Which ground did you enjoy the most going to play?
My first ever away game for Birmingham was at Liverpool.
Baptism.
Scored, 1-0 up. We just beat Brighton on the Saturday. We played Liverpool on the Tuesday. And I scored from about 25 yards. And I'd always wanted to play at Liverpool. That was the first time I'd ever played there. And to see the Kop and those red shirts, it was. I loved Liverpool. Loved the atmosphere. It was the challenge playing against what was such a good team. I really loved playing up at Anfield.
Yeah, that's good.
Am I right? You went and played for Wimbledon for a while, yeah?
I did, yes. Yeah.
Is it true you're the only player that didn't take any liberties with the crazy gang?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they what they did in the hotel room, they put some fish in my bed and all that, and put some raw fish in my bed. But they never really come near me. They were a bit scared of me.
Like Fash.
Vinny was my best mate at the time. He's my mind. That Vin was.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Dean Madams. He says, did it take Mick a while to adjust from Blues grass to the Luton plastic?
When I went to Luton, we were on grass.
Oh, was it? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
We were on grass for about 2 years, I think, before we changed to plastic. So it was really strange. The plastic pitch was a massive advantage to us. We had some real good players at Luton, with respect to every other club, But when I went to Luton, signed for Birmingham, we had some. Luton were down the bottom of the league, and how they were down the bottom of the league, I don't know, but I do know because they needed a bit of strength and they needed a bit of a spine. And they bought Steve Foster, and they bought myself, and they bought Peter Nicholas. They bought a young lad, David Priest from Walsall, who was a fantastic player. Then they started winning games 1-0 and 2-0. And we just had a real good team of real technical players. Ricky Hill, Brian Steen, Mal Donaghy, real good players who could adjust their game to plastic. So, and in that season, believe it or not, our away record was just as good as our home record with a plastic pitch on the first time we had it down.
Because you won the cup, you won the League Cup, didn't you?
Yeah,
we won the League Cup in '88. Yeah,
I remember.
Arsenal, didn't you?
We beat Arsenal 3-2. Then following year, we went back and we lost to Forest.
Right. You scored there, didn't you, Mick?
Scored in the second game, yeah.
Yeah, scored in the second one.
What was that like, Mick? Scoring at Wembley? That was amazing, wasn't it? Even though you lost the game.
Yeah, it's your dream. It's your dream, to play at Wembley, just to play there. I was there in '73 as a Sunderland fan, and go back as a player, as a professional footballer. it's your ultimate dream, really. And
Yeah.
for that, it's what dreams are made of, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And they won the Football League trophies on it. They Luton. Were you there when they won that?
I was a manager then.
The manager,
Oh, you was the manager, of course you were.
Yeah.
That's the year we were deducted 30 points
Yeah.
for illegal fees going into bank accounts and for going into administration by the Football Association. So we were deducted 30 points. That year we got relegated into conference, which is about 10 years ago now. And we stayed in the conference for 5 years. I left the club when we went in the conference. But in that season, on that relegation season, we won what was called the Johnson's Paid Trophy then.
It was, yeah.
We won that trophy, and there was 40,000 fans at Wembley. So hats off to the fans.
That must have been a proud moment as well, leading the team on.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable, and in such sad circumstances, really. And we were going to get relegated maybe 2 weeks later, and it's just sad circumstances that we won a trophy, then we were getting relegated out of the Football League.
Yeah. Good one here from Jason McDonough. He said, "Has Mick got any funny stories or pranks while at Blues you can tell us about?"
Well, I've got a few, but I wasn't really part of those boys who used to go out every Saturday night up to town and in places and all that, And I'd occasionally join them now and again, and you're always going to have a bit of trouble. What we believed in and what I believe in is the team. The team must have you've got to have a bit of team spirit, and you've got to have a bit of camaraderie and all that. And Blues had it in loads. I mean, it was the spirit there, the camaraderie, the togetherness was unbelievable.
Yeah,
we were playing. It was pre-season. In pre-season, you play a game, the manager lets you have a little drink, and you go out and have a drink the next day after the game. So we were playing in Arnhem, by Arnhem Bridge or whatever it's called. And we played someone, I can't remember what the score was. It was about 9, 10 o'clock at night. And we had the next day off. So the boys having a couple of beers and all that. Now, Ron's called me up to his room. He said, "Mick," he said, "we've had an offer from QPR." I said, "Okay." He said, "You've got your flights are booked, you've got your tickets, we've accepted the money, we want you to go." I said, "Well, what for?" and all that. He said, "Mick, we don't think you're the same player since you had that incident with Sam Allardyce." I said, "Look, Ron, if you don't want me to go, blah, blah, if you want me to go, that's fine, I understand and all that, I said to him, "What do you think I should ask for?" He said, "Ask for 500 quid and 25 grand a year signing on." He said, "Your flight's at 10 o'clock next morning." So I went to bed, and I swear to God, I went down into the bar, in the hotel bar, and the lads are still in the hotel bar from the night before, having a drink. So they've been up all night.
Wow.
They've been up all night. And I got the flight over to London, went to QPR, had a meeting with him. Alan Murray was the manager. Sat with him about an hour. I said, "Look, my manager's told me to ask for this, 500 quid a week, 25 grand a year sign on." He rings the chairman, Jim Gregory. "Oh, no, Mick, we can't do that," and all that. And puts the phone down. He said, "Look, he's not going to agree with it." I said, "Okay, I'm going back." I swear to God, not a word of a lie. I got back into the hotel about 5 o'clock, and the lads were still in the bar.
Oh, name and shame, Mick.
There was
Name and shame.
Tony Kelton, Harry Roberts, Jim Blythe, Pat Van der Nou, all that. Les Phillips.
I would have thought Tony Conan.
Yeah. Tim Peter was in there leading it. Honestly, they were sat in the same seats. Couldn't believe it.
I wonder if Tony Conan put his hand in his pocket.
No, I doubt it. "All right, Mick, how you doing?" All that. "Come and have a drink." And all that. So I had a couple of beers, and so in a way, I was quite pleased, to be honest with you. That never happened. Funny enough, they did have a plastic pitch then.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Shane says, "Your bravery will help you in your latest battle, Mick. You beat it. How is your health now, Mick?"
Well, I was diagnosed just before Christmas. Christmas before, 2020.
20. Yeah.
Like 15, 16 months ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Got the total shock of my life, absolutely bolt from the blue. You know what us men are like. We think we're invincible. We think we can we can get through everything and that, and I got a real shock. So the first thing I did was I started changing my lifestyle, stopped drinking, I started eating proper food, healthy food, so to speak, a healthy diet. Then I started on the medication. So you go on the medication for about 4, 5, 6 months. So you're on that, then you start on your radiotherapy, which lasts about 2.5 months. So I've done all that. I've done all the radiotherapy. I've come through that, which is not very pleasant. I'm still on the medication for the next 18 to 20 months, but my numbers are good. I have a blood test every month. Back in there next March the 16th for my 6 monthly injections, which is injection, just leave it in there and let it drip in there. And my PSA number's good. And the reason why you guys know about it, and I'd love to say it to you, if you do have the symptoms, please get tested, is that as a football club, I decided to, along with Nathan and Gary Sweet, to make it public, because I was going to start missing games, and people would ask where I was, and I said, well, why let's take this opportunity to try and get the word out there and raise awareness. So that's
So how did you find out? I hope you don't mind me asking you, Mick.
well, the symptoms.
Yeah.
I'd get up 3-4 times a night for a wee, at least 3-4 times a night. If you went to the toilet in the daytime, which was quite a hell of a lot, you'd have a wee, then you'd 2 minutes later you go back again and just have the same kind of wee. The wee flow wasn't very good. It was really dribbling out of you. Sometimes you stand there for 5 to 10 minutes waiting for it to come out, and you're dying for a wee, So it was just that they are the symptoms. Not no pain, nothing like that, Just trying to get the urine out of you, basically out of your body. And if it starts then, it doesn't start to come out, then you have problems.
And did it hit you straight away? Oh, something wrong here. I need to get this sorted. Or did you do the man thing? Oh, it'll go away.
Well, I'd had a consultation about 12 months before, maybe longer, and they said to me there is a little bit of information there, but they said you're fine, you're okay, just carry on. So I did have some information there, but nothing was detected. So I think, but from that time, I think they missed something. So 15 to 18 months on, I think I had cancer. So then I got tested again, and the cancer had spread from my prostate into my groins, into my lymph nodes, and that's so they couldn't really do anything about it apart from the medication and the radiotherapy. But I'm in a good place. I feel good now.
I can say you look fancy. You look just the same.
Yeah,
you look incredible.
You have a good and bad days, but I really appreciate you asking, and
I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all. I'll help as many people as I can.
I'm sure everyone here and all of our viewers, Mick, that we all wish you all the best with what lies ahead.
Absolutely.
That's really kind of you. Really, really kind, and appreciate it.
Yeah. Not just empty words either. We do mean it.
Yeah, we do.
We love you to bits, the Blues. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, crikey, you're so well loved, Mick. Honestly, Blues.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. All these years.
Yeah, the fans still love you. Yeah. Oh crikey, yeah.
Yeah. 2 games have come up on quite a few occasions. Questions before the show and also tonight as well. And those 2 games are massive as far as the club were concerned. Those games at Southampton and Coventry.
Coventry.
In the league.
Yeah, brilliant.
What do you remember about those games, and what stood out really about them all? And I suppose at the end of it, what was it like to be in that dressing room?
Well, I'm not just saying it because you're on here and you're fans of Birmingham City and you've been loyal for years and years. I still watch that video now and again, one especially, when Ian Andysides, God rest his soul, he bends the geezer the wrong way and crosses the ball, and I head it in and I run towards that side of the pitch, and you guys are going mental and all that, and it's an unbelievable video, and the scenes is incredible, absolutely incredible. And it was the same down at Southampton, down down at Southampton where really Hoppy should have scored. Hoppy had a marvellous chance header. I think Shilton made a good save, come back off the post, and I volleyed it in. And just the crowd reaction and the reaction you got, you can, the support the Blues fans used to give me and all the lads, it was immense. That was the thing that stands out for me.
Yeah. Did you have your own song, Mick? Did Blues fans have a song for me?
I did when I left, I think.
We'll keep the swearing out.
Yeah. You came back as a Luton player and scored again. I think we went down in the end that year. You came back and scored against us, didn't you?
I'll never forget that game. I came back. The game was played on a Sunday.
That's right. Yeah.
We played on a Sunday and we won 2-0 and I scored 2.
Oh, you brought us right back down now. We hate you.
The following week, I was chosen to the England squad the following week. So,
well, if you get 2 against Birmingham, you've got to get in the England squad.
Yeah. That must have been a
I
proud moment.
remember it vividly, absolutely remember it, yeah.
Yeah, it must have been a proud moment for you, Mick, getting your first England cap. And 2 England caps you got, was it? 2?
Wasn't it?
2, yeah.
Two caps.
Somebody
Who
said
were they against me?
One was against Israel in Israel.
Yeah.
And one was in Denmark at Wembley.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone said earlier it should have been a lot more than 2 caps.
Well, I was in the squad for quite a while. I never got on the pitch on a lot of games. I sat on the bench, and it was really bizarre. When you look back, and my debut, strange enough, Des Walker was on the bench as a young kid.
What a player he was.
Gazza was on the bench that night.
Yeah.
And I was 28 then. And they were the up and coming players, the star players coming through, and they were like,
Yeah.
So I trained with Gazza, and my big pal when I was in the English squad was Chrissy Waddler, because I played with him at Newcastle.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to put this out there as well, if I may. Now, there's been some great news today. I don't know if anyone's heard, but Masters football's coming back, isn't it?
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Keep an eye on it.
Come on, Mick, get your boots on.
It's been away for 7 years, and it's something I used to love it all the time. And
Yeah.
you played in something, didn't you? Back in the when was it? Now, what did Blues play in? Did Mick play in?
The Soccer Six.
Soccer Six. The
Soccer Six. Yeah, we won it two or 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
Mick played in the.
I think it was Atari Soccer Sixes, I think.
That's
right, yeah.
That was it.
Downstairs. I've still got the winner's medal downstairs.
Would you say? Would you say? Sorry, Mick. Would you say that was bigger than winning at Wembley?
That was brilliant. Really enjoyed those.
Yeah, they got some crowds as well. Remember? Yeah.
We had some really good technical players like Kevin Dillon and Kirbysley, and Gailey with a bit of pace and all that, and it was really entertaining times there were.
Oh yeah.
What would our team be now if Blues were in Masters football tomorrow? What would our team be?
Well, we haven't got anybody that age, have we? I suppose we have.
Oh, it's obviously players who have not long been retired, isn't it? Who have it's got like 38 up to about.
Well,
I think it's 35 over. I think
mid to late 50s, maybe.
The manager might get a game, will he?
Yeah.
Robbo.
Robbo,
Yeah, Robbo, yeah.
Craig
Ranger.
Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gardner, yeah.
Devlin's still got it as well.
Yeah, he's still got it, yeah.
So I think we still
That was Carter, of course.
Yeah, Darren Carter.
Cool, so we could
Hopefully he'll be the manager.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
We've just signed you up. That's another one there. You go, another Tilton.
Tilton exclusive, yeah.
Steve Gardner says, well done, Mick, for highlighting prostate cancer. Good luck. You were a great centre forward up there with Bob Hatton and Fred Pickering. That's from Steve Gardner.
Well,
A lot of love. Yeah, it was the Atari Soccer 6. D. Madam says, Dugarry. Skip, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Roger Johnson.
Kev Phillip.
Yeah, wow.
Paul Bright wants to know, Mick, did you watch the Blues beat Arsenal in the cup final?
Did, yes. Long time ago, I remember. I was really rooting for them, and that last minute goal was just about clinched it. And that was the epitome of how to win a cup final, really.
Yeah.
Still the only West Midlands club this century to do it, Mick, eh?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Oh, well done. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And Paul, you forgot the final little bit, and Andy in HG.
The only West Midlands club to win a major trophy in high definition.
Yeah.
Well, we beat Arsenal as well in the cup final at Luton.
Yeah.
Easy, isn't it, mate?
Easy.
Easy, no problem.
Sorry, Mick, when you were at Blues, where did you live when you lived in Browne? Was it Solihull?
I lived in Solihull. I lived on, I live near the training ground, actually.
Yeah.
I'm at the training ground, past Rolls Royce and up there on the left-hand side. I wasn't that side of I was this side, the airport side.
Yeah.
Dan's line then, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. The rough end. The rough end.
Me and Mark Dennis went out there one night. Me, Mark Dennis, his wife, and my missus. We went out one night, and we come back in. We got in about 3:00 in the morning. So we're in the house having a drink, and I'd got a new lawnmower, one of those new lawnmowers. So I said to Mark, I said, "Come on, we cut the grass." Get the lawnmower. I'm cutting the grass at 3:00 in the morning. It was on those electric mowers and making a load of noise and all that, And anyway, put it away. No one said a word. And about 2 years later, I'd moved out of there, and Keith Birchin had moved into the road. So Keith Birchin knocks on the door and all that, introduced himself to the neighbours and all that, And he said, "Oh, what's the neighbours like round here?" He said, "Oh, they're fine. The neighbours are fine. The neighbours are great round here. Except we used to have a bloke across there who used to cut his grass at 3:00 in the morning." He said, "But he's gone now, so it's nice and quiet around here."
Shane says, how did Mick's family feel about him scoring for Blues at Roker Park, and you scored a hat-trick against them for Derby?
Yeah. Well, I was really delighted. It's not like nowadays where you don't celebrate and all that.
Yeah.
I think you celebrate more when you scored against your old club. I never forget those days. Never forget those games at Roker Park. Brilliant to go up there. I think Blakey scored a penalty, and I scored in the last minute, far post header as usual, and we won 2-1. Mark Prudhoe was in goal, believe it or not, at the time. So no, it was really enjoyed scoring at Roker Park. And when I was playing for Derby, we played Sunderland in I think it was a quarter final of the League Cup or fifth round of the League Cup, and we were actually 4-0 up at half time, 5-0 up at half time, and I scored a hat-trick before half time at the Sunderland end where all the fans were and all that, and they give me a bit of abuse. So I scored a hat-trick before half time, header, left foot and right foot, the perfect hat-trick. So,
right.
Pardon?
I was going to say, back then, you weren't allowed you didn't keep the ball then when you got a hat-trick, did you?
I can't remember. I had that many. No, it was different then. You celebrated then, didn't you? You celebrated. You celebrated scoring a goal. You saw the fans going mental, and that got you going and all that, So, no, it didn't bother me celebrating goals against my old teams, and I definitely remember that game at Sunderland at Roker Park.
Yeah, and let's do two actually, Mick. Who's the best player would you say you played with the Blues, and the best player you played with in your whole career?
The best player I played with the Blues, and I'm not saying it because he's my mate, is Tony Coulton. I know he's a goalkeeper, but everyone knew how good he was and how good he was going to be.
Yeah.
When Tony left, I mean, I was good. I wasn't there very long, but we become big pals. And the biggest compliment I can give to TC was that when he left, we signed David Seaman. He was our next goalkeeper, and David was a great goalkeeper. But that stage in his career, he was nowhere near Tony Coulton in terms of is he ready to play for England and all that. Obviously, he went on to be an England great goalkeeper. But I just think Tony was hampered by his reputation, what happened at Birmingham, his reputation round the town and all that, and get himself into trouble and all that. I think that hampered his career 100%. Because Taylor, when he went to Watford, was magnificent for him. he stood up in court for him a couple of times. Graham Taylor.
Mm.
So, and what was the next one? The best player I played with
in your whole career, yeah.
Well, it's a real tough one, but a lot of people ask me that question. It's a real tough one, and I would say the best team I ever played in was the Luton team when I first come to Luton. Then we grew as a team, and I was in the team for about 4 or 5 years. So we grew, and it was a bit of a golden period for Luton. And I played with some great players, Mal Donaghy, Brian Steen. Then, I mean, I don't like mentioning it, but when you play with the England boys like Robson and Gazza and Waddle and Lineker and Beardsley and all that, you know. But the biggest influence me from a club point of view was Steve Foster.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Steve Foster wasn't the greatest player ever, but what he did was he got the dressing room together, he got us all together, and he was an amazing captain.
Did he used to wear a headband?
Yeah.
He'd wear a headband, and he was a fantastic captain. He played for England 12 times, went to the World Cup, so he was now mug, and he was just a proper defender, proper man. We'd have nights out to make sure we all stuck together. Everything was organised and planned, and he was just a good captain and a good player. So for me, it'd have to be because obviously there was a lot more players who were more technical than him and better footballers, but on the field, and he played with injuries. I'd see him with pins through his wrist and all that, you know, bandaged up and cut eyes and stuff. And I thought, you can't play. I said, I'll be all right. And he put himself out there.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. And
you wouldn't see that again.
Yeah. No. Who would you say the best players you've ever played against? Or who was your toughest ever opponent?
Again, I get asked this quite a lot, and when I answer the question, I mean, I try and just think about all the players who you played against. Obviously, you look into the top division, and you look at Butcher and Osman, and you look at O'Leary and Adams, and you look at the Man United boys, Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister. You got Alvin Martin and Tony Gale, and there's some amazing footballers, amazing players, and even I'm going to mention Ken McNaughton and all that, you know, at Villa and that, you know, playing against those boys, they're tough boys and all that, you know. But the one who gave me a hard time and who I thought he was a brilliant footballer, brilliant player, and really good bloke as well, and tough as nails. And he's the only one who's left one on me apart from Sam Allardyce. And I thought, this is a tough game. Always found it to be a tough game. It was Paul McGrath. I thought Paul McGrath was a brilliant centre half, you know. Could do a bit of everything. He had a bit of everything. Yeah,
absolutely. And a certain Paul Devlin has just said, Big Mick, one of my heroes along with Tony Coates. So obviously it was a young Devlin, wasn't it, that went to see yourself and see you play for us in them days.
And another one about it was easy for me to pick my best friend as the goalkeeper, as the best player I thought about. But the one who, you know, and I'm not just going to say because he's everyone's hero and he has got blue blood. The way Hoppy was. Oh yeah. The way the love and the passion he had for the football club, and he took us along the road, Hoppy. You know, he brought us with him and all that, you know, and he brought me along there, and that's why I love Birmingham City. I love the fans, I love the club, and he got me into it. You know, he really got me into it. So Hoppy's a big influence on me when I was at Birmingham.
Yeah. And Alan, what are your best memories from days from that era as a fan?
A goal against Tottenham. Again, we were in trouble. Header on the far post, home game. So we needed to win, and we did. I think that was. That was
I remember that
important goal.
I think it was at White Hart Lane, actually.
Was it? Okay.
I flick through the videos now and again, and I think I might be wrong. But I think because it was on Match of the Day that game.
That's right. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, far post the usual.
I've got a question here, and maybe you can correct me if it's wrong. But Anthony Garvey says, did Mick score an own goal for Derby versus Luton that helped keep Luton up?
I did, yes. I did, yeah. That's why they like me down here. We were playing Derby. Were playing Luton on the plastic pitch. Derby season was over basically. Luton had to win to stay up, and I never forget that they had a free kick about 35, 40 yards out in the left wing position, and a young kid called Jason Rees took it, who used to clean my boots, believe it or not, when I was at Luton. And I've gone for a header. I was in that zone, that front post zone. Yeah, and it skimmed off the top of my head, and it's gone over Schiltz. Peter Shilton was in goal. And I always said to Peter, you can't get off the ground, you can't even move, so I blame Schiltz for that one. He had the old lead boots on that day. But it endeared me even more to the Luton Town fans. So no, it was, and Luton stayed up that day.
Yeah. Actually, sorry to put in, Chris. It's really interesting you were talking about Schultz there, Mick, because did he ever mention to you anything about that World Cup game? Because a lot of people said he should have, he shouldn't have let Maradona out jumping for that handball. I wonder if he ever mentioned it.
He never mentioned that 50 quid he owes me. I know that
much. Mick, somebody just said, have you got any memories from the Blues versus Villa games? Because you did play in a couple. Did you play?
Yeah, I played in that famous game at Villa Park. Yeah.
Oh right, okay,
when it all kicked off. Yeah. When Blakey missed the penalty and everyone got stuck in, and I think someone knocked him, Steve McMahon, and it all kicked off. And I think Blakey got sent off. Was it?
Oh right, okay. Oh, but it doesn't surprise us.
And I remember we it was raining, really, really terrible rain. The game should have been abandoned, really. Villa Park, and I remember the ball stuck in the water, and Peter Wiss knocked it through Tony's legs, and he scored in the far end, and it's all kicked off, and everyone's arguing. And anyway, at Villa Park, you have to go up the stairs. There's really rickety old stairs in the dressing room, and I chased that Colin Gibson up the stairs. And I got into the dressing room. I was chasing them around their dressing room. all their players were sat down. Never even moved.
You wanted to congratulate him, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I wanted to say the boys dragged me out just as well. Yeah.
Oh, great times.
Sorry, I was going to say, have you kept any mementos from your days at Blues, Mick? Have you got any old shirts or anything?
I've got I've got loads and loads of scrapbooks, and all the memories and the paper clippings. My mother before she died, she collected everything, all the papers, everything from every game, every clipping, and all in books, all in the loft. Yeah, so I've got all that to look back on. Yeah.
Wow.
That's good. Quite a few people asking after Nick, and I just thought I'd let everyone know that he did join us before we came live, and he's just coughing quite a bit at the moment. So decided not to join us tonight because he might be on the edit button a bit too much. But he seems okay, doesn't he? To be fair, he's not.
Yeah, he's fine. He's just coughing a lot, and he didn't really want to upset the broadcast, so he decided to. Well, we decided he was pretty useless. So give him a rest. You know what I mean?
I think he was just gasping for a whiskey. To be honest,
what I meant was give us a rest.
Yeah. So should we come on to mix 1 to 11 now?
Oh yes. Let's upset some people.
So what we've asked you to do, Mick, obviously, is to pick your strongest 11 of Blues players that you played with for us, and over to you. What formation we playing?
4-3-3, 4-5-1, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
In goal was quite easy, as you can imagine. That was quite easy. When I first met this guy, I always knew, and I seen him in training. I went to a few clubs. I went to Birmingham. I went to Derby. I went to another. I came to Luton, and I thought they had the wrong goalkeepers in goal. When he'd been training for 2 or 3 days. After 2 or 3 days, I thought Jeff Whelan should be in Tony's position and Tony should be in goal. And the same when I went to Derby. Peter Shilton has been a world-class goalkeeper, and the young lad should have been in goal. Peter's time was up and all that, So when I come to Birmingham, I thought, how come he's not in goal? Then he got his chance, obviously, and he took it, and he went on to be a real top goalkeeper. Really, he's my best friend. He's a really funny guy. Really good character. I had a great time in the game, and just a arguably for me one of the best ever goalkeepers to play for Blues.
Yeah, we had him on a couple of months ago as well, Mick.
Yeah.
So he kept telling us about his book. He kept telling us about his book all the time. He kept saying,
No, read it.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that's 3 of us.
Did you get a mention though, Mick? That's the question. If you got in his book, that's fine. But did you get in?
A little bit now and again, yeah.
Only if you owe him money.
Right back. This player was Irish. He was, in my opinion, one of the best fullbacks in around at the time. Very marauding character. Great lad in the dressing room. Fantastic footballer. Give his heart and soul to every training session, every game, and he knocked that ball. He'd run down the line and cross it. And I was fortunate enough to get on the end of a few of his crosses. That's David Langan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who I believe was a top fullback. He lost caps for Ireland. I don't know if you remember him, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very much so.
He's actually been on the show as well a couple of years ago.
Langer, yeah.
Langer, yeah. He's fell out of love a bit with the game though.
Yeah, I think he's
had ill health, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's not very healthy. He's had a bit of hard time and that, you know. And a few years ago, we had a testimonial for him down at Oxford, and Jim Smith was one of our managers. So we had a real good laugh and a real good time, and we just raised some money for Dave, you know. And top man. He's been in touch with me since I was Pooley, so really.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Great fullback though, and the thing is, speaking to him so softly spoken, you think this can't be David Langham.
You can obviously tell how young I look. These were a bit before my time, but I have heard a hell of a lot about all of them, all of these players.
I had a photo with David Langham when I was about 4. I think it was like an open day. I was about 4, and there's a photo of me, me with him. So I'll have to dig it out. Yeah.
Great player.
I remember one game I played, and we played Liverpool in the League Cup on a Tuesday night. We drew 1 each at St Andrews. It was a real muddy evening, and that, and it was those days when there was extra time. I think I scored, Lange crossed, I got on a near post and scored a diving header. And I remember I was stood behind Sue Ness, and Sue Ness has stuck one right in the top corner. I thought, what a goal that is. Then we did the extra time, then that was a Tuesday. And on the Thursday, we went to Anfield and played a replay. We got beat 1-0 up there. Phil Neal scored the goal. And on the Saturday, we were playing again. I mean, and the complaint about playing games nowadays. We played Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in one. Yeah, so the next player, who was when I first come to Birmingham, I just thought he was just a real steady Eddie, real steady Eddie, really quiet lad. Didn't really. He's a bit of a dark horse, really, and he changed my opinion when he went to Everton and all that. He's the first one to leave, and I thought he'd be the last one to leave the football club. Because I just thought he was a steady Eddie. But when you put him in certain positions, and he defended really well, he headed it, he was brave, he was a good talker, and that was Pat Van den Houw. Yeah, Pat Van den Houw, who made his career as a left back and a right back when he went to Everton.
Yeah.
When I first come to Birmingham, he was playing centre half. And I just thought he was a real cool customer and all that, and real calm and influence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until he got off the pitch.
Did you get to know him? Did you get to know him at all?
Not really. No, he's a bit dark.
Was he?
He was friendly with Kevin Dillon. That's who he was friendly with.
Oh right, okay.
Travel in from Yardley. They both lived in Yardley, and they'd come in together. And he was a real deep fella, deep as the ocean. Pat was, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Psychopath, as Anthony Garvey just says.
Yeah. Well, he's not as mad as the next one I'm going to tell you all about. Mark Dennis.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Mark, in my opinion, should and could have played for England quite easily.
Most definitely.
I think before I arrived at the club, he'd had a knee injury. But even when I turned up, he was still a fantastic footballer, fantastic left back. He put the ball on the sixpence, get forward, defend. And, everyone knows he had that nasty streak and all that, and He loved the challenge and he loved getting into trouble. Never forget one day when we were training. One day, I was driving out the training ground and saw this. He was on the lawnmower, the big lawnmower that cut the grass, driving up Damson Lane. And I said, Mark, where are you going? And I drove up the side of him, wound my window down. I said, Mark, what are you doing? He went, I'm taking it home, I'm going to cut the grass, and I'm going to take it around the cricket club and get the square all organised for Sunday. I said, are you sure? Does anyone know you take? She said, no, I'm not taking it back. I said, oh, that's it, it's mine now. I said, no, bring round at the roundabout and take it back so you get yourself into trouble. He said, no. He said, no. Anyway, I said, all right, I'll see you later. He then took me around, and about 2 or 3 days later, the club had got wind of it. You know, Keith Bradley, and never forget Keith Bradley, the youth team coach, started asking questions about it, and he said, "Did you see Mark take that lawnmower?" I said, "No, not me. I know what you're talking about." Asking around like that. So I told him, I said, "Mark, they got wind of it. You better do something." So he didn't bring it back. You know what he did? He drove it into Solihull Park and put it in the lake.
No.
Put it in the lake, yeah. He did,
Hopefully he got out of it first.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did, yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's crazy. That's some crazy players.
Mad. Oh, I could tell you a few stories about Mark. What a character. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Right side, number 7 is Robert Hopkins.
Yeah.
Playing on the right side of a three-man midfield or a 5-man midfield, whatever you want to call it. But Hoppy epitomised what Birmingham City is all about, in my opinion. Absolutely epitomised the passion, desire, loyalty, real honesty about him. And I mean, he absolutely loved the club. And his stories used to be about when he played for the youth team and the Villa, and getting the bus over to watch Blues in the afternoon. When he signed for Birmingham, it was the best day of his life. It was the best day of his life. And he treasured every moment he trained, and he absolutely loved, and he had a passion for the football club like I've never seen a player have for any football club. Had a massive passion for the club. Still has.
Yeah.
Still see him every week at the home game.
Yeah. He still goes down the game every week. Yeah. Mad Blues fan.
Yeah.
I'd play a 3-man midfield.
Yeah.
On the right of that 3-man midfield, on the inside, I'd have Kevin Dillon. Dill was a schoolmate of mine. We went through school together.
That's interesting. Didn't know that.
We went through the same school in Sunderland together. He was a year younger than me. Dill passed his 11 plus. I didn't. And that's when we split. He went to a school called St. Aidan's. I went to a school called St. Joseph's. He went to school, and believe it or not, you're not going to believe this, in the same team with me and Dill was a guy called Mickey Hazard.
I remember Mickey Hazard. Yeah. Spurs. Yeah.
Hazard was a super player. So there was 3 of us in the same school team. And Mickey Hazard and Dill passed their 11 plus and went to St. Aidan's. But we kept in touch. Dill had trials for Sunderland, and it's crazy. It's crazy how Kevin Dillon and Mickey Hazard, one ended up with Tottenham, one ended up with Birmingham, how they were never picked up by Sunderland. Dill was a beautiful footballer. Really covered the ground well, and strange character, but a great lad, and totally fitted into the Birmingham way and all that, and he's a fantastic lad. Good player he was.
You still in touch, mate?
Yeah, still keep in touch. He now scouts for Scotland. Does
he?
Yeah, for Steve Clark. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Their scouts out watching games for the Scottish players, keeping an eye on them and doing the reports and feedback on how they're getting on and stuff like that, and data and stuff and everything. So no, he's still involved in football. I'd have sit in front of my back 4. I'd have Kevin Broadhurst. Yeah, Broad's obviously again he suffered another bad injury, a knee injury, and he was never the same player. but brave as a lion, tackle anything, run through a brick wall for you. Real honesty about him. A real good captain of the team, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not my team. I'm going to make someone else my captain.
Oh, sorry.
In the day, he was captain, yeah. When he played, he was injured a lot of the time. You know.
Yeah.
He was injured a lot of the time, and he was a real warrior, George. Real warrior.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Another guest we've had.
Yeah. My captain. The reason why I'd make him captain because he's quite an intelligent lad and he's a bit of a leader. Everyone followed him and all that, you know, and he was real good around the dressing room. Was Alan Curbishley.
Curbs.
Real neat and tidy footballer, clever, intelligent player. Obviously went off to the Villa, so we're not. We won't talk about that. But whilst he was there, I thought he was really popular guy, really intelligent on his football, had a real good knowledge of it. And I got on really well with him, and I like Curbs, and I'm still in touch with Curbs now. He's down here in London, lives in London, down this way, yeah.
Yeah.
Really good lad, yeah.
Yeah.
Wide left would be Ian Handyside. God rest his soul. He put a few on a plate for me, and that famous game at Coventry, when he twisted the fullback out inside out and crossed the ball. Great player, great footballer in training, one of the best players I've ever seen in training. Goes past people in games. I mean, he didn't play as many games as I thought he should. I mean, because he was in and out of the team and all that. But on his day, he was good as anyone in the league. Absolutely, and won the league. And the one I'd pick up front, playing in that team, is Howard Gale. I'd pick him just for his pace, his power. He knew where to run and when to run and how to run. He stretched teams. He made the pitch big, and I just think with him in that team, sliding balls in behind, and I thought at times he played on the left, he played on the right, and he played through the middle. But he was a good player when I was at Birmingham in those years. Yeah.
Yeah. Underestimated, I thought it was.
I think the one I missed out was a centre half.
Yeah.
I missed one out.
Yeah, somebody next to Pat Van now.
Yeah, that was. I chose him because he was so intelligent and super skillful, and absolutely both footed, 2-footed. He was one of those lads who, if you played golf with him, he'd beat you. If you played snooker, he would beat you. He was a wonderful talent, and he should have gone on and he played for Wales. He should have gone on and made much more caps. Unfortunately, he's not around anymore. He died, and he was honestly a super footballer. And I think if he'd been around today, he'd have been a superstar. That was Byron Stevenson. I mean, he was such an intelligent player. I mean, that team hasn't got a lot of, what I'd say, really brave headers and all that, but I think in today's game, I think with those two fullbacks, those two football playing centre halves, I think it'd be a good team there.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
A lot of comments coming in for it. Michael Woods has just said, what a team. My hero team, sorry, it's gone off the screen. He just said that pretty much along the lines of that's the team of his heroes from his childhood, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got something right tonight.
Who would be the manager, Mick?
Ron Saunders. Yeah,
Okay.
Ron. I only had one manager at Birmingham.
That
That might be a record.
How did you get on with Ron?
I loved Ron.
Yeah.
Loved him. Yeah. He taught me a lot. He taught me how to look after myself. He was a great character. He'd come and have a little whisper in your ear before the game and about who you're playing against and don't do this and don't do that. Real good manager. Really looked after the boys. He was a very, very strong character. He had a real care inside. Real.
He was an aggressive centre forward himself.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I got to hold my hand up and say I did see him play. He scored 2 against Birmingham, and we thought, and he was a real tough nut on the field.
Everyone seems to score 2 against Birmingham.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Following on from Michael's comment earlier about his childhood heroes, who was yours, Mick? Who was your childhood hero as a footballer when you was young?
Well, that's pretty easy, really, because my team was Sunderland, and I followed them for donkey's years. Was 5, 6. I followed them my first game against. My first ever time in London was at the cup final in '73. I was 14 years old. When I was 15, I packed in playing football. When I started working, packed in playing football, and I followed Sunderland around the country.
Yeah.
All over the country, home and away. That was my passion. Then I got back into football somehow, and I got back in and playing again when I was about 17, which I'm really glad I did. My heroes of that time was my favourite all-time player of Sunderland. He's actually an ex-Birmingham player. Was Colin Todd.
Oh, Toddy, yeah.
Sunderland, and he was a superstar, fantastic.
I thought you was going to say Lee Camp then.
Just going back to that cup final, that was some cup final. That was the cup final everybody wanted Sunderland, but didn't really think it would happen, and it did. What a cup final that was!
It was all. I mean, there was a guy. I mean, I could name all those players on the pitch, all the Sunderland players and the Leeds players. And there was a guy called Richie Pitt. No one knows who he is. He was only
fullback.
Yeah, he was a 19-year-old. He played left side centre half, and the ball's gone on the touchline, and Alan Clark's got it, and he's cleaned him out. He's actually cleaned Alan Clark out, and I still believe now that's why Sunderland won the FA.
Yeah,
they cleaned him out, and they took the fear away that day and all that. And Sunderland played well, and obviously that great save by Jim Monk.
Oh yeah,
yeah, was that double save, and I still believe that's the best save I've ever seen.
He went on to play for Blues as well, didn't he?
Yeah, with the goal,
Monty. Yeah, come down to Blues. Yeah, I want to read this couple of quotes. Jason says, "I didn't have the chance to watch Mick well before my time. What an inspirational guy, and what a legend. Loved listening to him tonight." From Violet, she says, "I just want to say, Mick, your stories I've loved listening to. I've laughed so much tonight. I've also found it emotional when you talk about your cancer. But on behalf of all Blue Noses, I hope you keep up your fight and it all goes well."
Thank you very much. Very good.
That's Violet and Jason.
Are we doing the last 15?
Have we got time? Have we got one lined up?
I've just thought of one with Mick on, obviously.
Okay, 7 minutes.
The coincidence of obviously us throwing tennis balls on the pitch while Mick was there the other week for Luton, and anything to do with tennis and football.
There we go. Tennis and
football.
Tennis and football. Easy, that should be.
It's a word association, Mick, that we do. So, word association, tennis and football.
I'll kickstart then with Peter Lovenkrands.
Love it.
Peter Lovenkrands. Yeah, well done. Should we talk about the game tomorrow and Saturday?
Yes.
Get our predictions in now. Come on. We'll let Oliver go first because he's been quiet all night. He's been. Get close to the mic.
It's gonna be hard because the manager in Paul Ince is in charge at the minute. So it's no manager bounce more than anything. But I think there's something like 1,900 Blues fans going.
Yeah.
So that's quite good for a Tuesday night, to be fair.
Oh, you're going as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna say 3-1. I think 3-1 Blues. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Go on.
I've got one.
Go on.
I see Wimbledon won tonight.
Yeah.
Wimbledon.
Oh.
Yeah, like it.
4-6-3, 6-2.
Well done.
Well done.
I'll go 2-1 tomorrow. 2-1 tomorrow night.
It's not normally our guests get one, do they?
No.
Yeah. Well done.
I'm going to go. Sorry, Craig.
No, I was going to say, I know they've got that new manager bounce, and I do agree that sometimes it picks up, but I just think they're in a really bad position at the moment, and we're actually we're high up on should we say a bit of a crest of a wave. So I quite fancy us for a 2-0 tomorrow night.
At home, I think they haven't won in their last 10 at home, and they've drawn 3.
Oh no! Don't say that.
No. I think we'll get a good draw. I think we're 1-1.
1-1.
Okay.
As Mick has pointed out, everybody scores 2 against the Blues, so I'll go 2-2.
Yeah. I fancy a win. I'll go 3-2 Blues. I think there'll be a few goals in it.
Yeah.
If you heard me, I said 2-1 Blues.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened to Mikhailovic there? Has he been injured? Because I keep looking, I don't see him in the team.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not
injured,
sure.
isn't
I think he's injured.
Is he injured? Okay.
Long-term
Yeah.
injury.
Well, keep him out the side. We might be all right.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think he's done a lot this season anyway.
Yeah, but you know what it's like. With,
Obviously.
You know, it's like when old players come and play against us.
They always turn it on.
They always turn it on.
Great tennis ones coming through, Chris.
Oh, I know, yeah, I can see him, yeah.
Lee Novak Djokovic, which
That's the belt. That is a
Steve
belt.
Job, that is quality. We got Peter and Love a couple of times. Don Kavanagh, Daly had a bowler of tennis balls, which is quite good. Lindsay Murray, yes, we know you love camp, so you can have that one.
Yeah.
Peter Taylor, Wooden Goodman. That's the other one that I've seen, but there are some great ones coming through there.
Lindsay,
Sorry, go on, Chris.
I'll just go through some scores. Lindsay's gone 2-2 tomorrow and 3-1 on Saturday. Michael's gone Reading 1 Blues 3. Violet says 2-1 Blues. Michael says 1-1 Huddersfield. Set Blatter. Says Mike. Yeah. 1-1 Dom Kavanagh. Away Blues 2-0 against Reading.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of confidence there.
Yeah.
Davy Davies, Cup.
David. Like it. Steve Deuce is one. Steve Deuce.
Yeah,
Steve Deuce, the class one, yeah.
I like that.
Right, what about Carl Court?
Carl Court.
Paul McCarthy's gone with Paul Robinson squash.
Steve Gardner says, first Tilton talk I've listened to, it won't be the last. I saw you play your first game for Blues. Thanks, Mick, and good luck with your fight. You can beat this evil disease. Great listening to your memories. That's from Steve Gardner, the first time Tilton talker.
Welcome, Steve.
Anthony Garver, Gary Liney.
Terrible. Peter Bonnetti. Yeah, decent.
Lob Hatton from
that's a good one.
Grizzly.
I like that. Yeah, I like that one. What about Rudy Volley instead of Rudy Voller?
Not bad.
Right then, guys, it's time now to sort of wrap up the show. I'd like to say thanks to our friend Mark Adams.
Have a good week, everybody.
Alan Watton.
All the best.
Paul Hipkiss.
Keep right on. Thanks, everyone.
Craig Gardner.
I like the thanks to Craig Gardner now. Yeah, I like that.
Craig Gardner, yeah.
Keep up the positivity, everybody. It's really good at the moment. Let's keep this going. Positive comms, positive fans. That
Definitely.
brings positive results.
Who have we got? Thanks to our special guest, Mick Harford. Mick, thanks for coming in, being on the show.
Can I just say thanks for having me, and thanks for listening to all those silly stories. But it's
Brilliant, mate.
really appreciate all your support, and it's very, very much appreciated. So thank you, guys. Want to wish you all the best tomorrow, and let's hope Blues have a good season.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Cheers, Mick.
Hi, mate. I've got to
Cheers.
Keep right on.
Yeah, cheers, Mick, and you, mate.
Go on,
Tennis and football. Ian, backhandy sides.
Very good.
Excellent.